Hi YouTube, I'm back baby, I'm back! I'm Kat and welcome back to my channel. I am writing a children's book called Use Your Voice. Honestly, I haven't filmed a video in a while because I've just been going through so much in my head. I just feel like there's this war inside my head. I feel like I'm holding myself back from making progress and that I'm just like spinning in circles, I'm stuck in a rut. It's just like all these things that I'm experiencing. I think it's come out of this frustration of not being able to write or illustrate the book in the way that I really want. That fact that it's not, when I see the book, it's not giving me the feeling that I want the book to have. I have signed up for a bunch of newsletters for authors, and I just read articles online, and they kind of guide people through like how to write a children's book, how to develop the plot and the characters and things like that. And I feel like actually the more I read about how you're supposed to write a children's book, the more it just confuses me. It makes me feel like I'm trying to like check all the boxes of what a good children's book is like. But then I realize, some of the best books out there like don't follow a specific formula. So I'm starting to think that maybe I shouldn't read so much about how you're supposed to do things and just do things the way that I feel like I should do them. So, I try not to read too many of those for now. But I know that like as I develop more complex stories, like I'll probably want to go back and look at those and learn from them. So I think that threw me for a loop kind of, but even though when it's just me writing on the computer, I just feel like I can't get it quite right. And as you can see here from my Google Drive folder, there's just drafts upon drafts of this book. So yeah, I feel like I'm still iterating, but what has kind of pushed me to make a little more progress is really to share it with people, to ask them what they think. One of my strongest reasons for wanting to write this book is to kind of pass on lessons to younger kids on how I've learned how to use my voice and the importance of it. Being introverted, like I would rather just literally stand in the corner or just blend into the wall and just not talk to people and just play along with what everyone else wants to do because I don't like to stir up conflict. And so there's just so many like meaningful lessons that I've learned and sometimes more complex situations. And so the book actually diverged into two books. I had a simple version for kids where it's just like use your voice to say hello or use your voice to say please and thank you. It's just really simple. And then a version for more mature audiences or adults is one that just has a lot more like meaning to it, and it has more depth and just emotion behind it. I actually shared both versions with people. Some people said that they actually like the kids version better. And so I think that for my audience, I think it's important to, be simple, to kind of be a little silly and lighthearted and allow these kids to realize for themselves what the message is, to not actually be direct and very commanding. So that is the version that I'm going to go with. And I think maybe later on I might publish the older version for adults in a different format. Anyways, that's kind of where I'm at right now. It was a very windy path. There was just some days where I didn't want to wake up, I didn't want to work on my book, and I actually was working against myself subconsciously. Like I would distract myself by finding like other things that seemed interesting at the time that I thought could be helpful. But those things just took my mind and my energy away from working on this book. And the saying, if you're working on everything, you're really not getting anything done. So I feel like I have a renewed sense of focus that I know I want to get this book out, and also realizing that it's not going to be perfect, but it's just one step in the direction of my future. Honestly, the perfectionism thing has caused me a lot of heartache and pain because on one hand, I want the book to be the most amazing, best book that I could ever create. and I really want to put my best self out there and to share it with people. Like, I don't want to give people a crappy book, but at the same time, I feel like perfectionism stirs up these negative emotions within me, like fears that the book is not going to be good enough, that the words aren't going to be good enough, that the illustrations people aren't going to like, and in some ways, these fears kind of paralyze me, and it makes me procrastinate. It makes me not want to work on it because I'm afraid that it just flat out won't be good enough, and that I won't be proud of it, that I'm just gonna have to keep iterating on it. So that's why I distract myself with doing things like cleaning the house, or working on errands, or hanging out with friends. Like, all those things are really important, but at the same time, you know, expressing myself in this way with this book is super important. It's even more important. And I feel like it's one of God's purposes for me at this time in my life. So it's been a struggle, and I just wanted to share with you that it's not just a linear path to get to your dream. In the last couple of days, I really pushed myself that despite these fears and anxieties that I have, I'm just gonna keep going. Like, I'm just gonna do the best I can, and just keep cranking these illustrations out. Before I leave, I wanted to show you some of my latest progress. I figured out how to put images and text on the same screen. Before, I was like handwriting the text, because in the drawing apps, apparently it's just, they don't have the option to add text. So what I do now is I draw my drawings in Adobe Sketch, and then I will use Adobe Comp to overlay the text on top of it. So here you go. Alright, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and for following along. Subscribe to stay updated, and I will see you in the next one. Whoa, there's like these Twitter birds flying above my head. I love you guys. Bye!